I will be your host for our event this afternoon. Glad to have everybody here. This is a special time, and we've really got a special group of inductees here. I would venture to guess, just looking at from a pure number standpoint, this is one of the most elite classes of inductees that we've ever had. So, round of applause. It's a very, very special group. I'd like to introduce the members of the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. Just as an FYI, the Athletic Hall of Fame serves as a subcommittee to the Sterling Schools Foundation. Here with us today is President Greg King, Vice President Joe Schneiderbauer from the class of '07, Mr. Matt Gingrich from the class of '86. Our secretary is Kelly Grummert Reynolds from the class of '81. Phil Smith from the class of '67. Gordon Harris from the class of '68. Mark Sisson from the class of '72. Pat Fortney from the class of '75. Lou Sotelo from the class of '89. Casey Carbaugh from the class of '04. Ex officio member with us from the Sterling Schools Foundation Board of Directors, some guy by the name of Mr. Pete Dillon. Members of the committee who could not be with us today, I think, Greg, that's everybody that's here. I got those right. Yep. So members of the committee that could not be here with us today: Devin Flick from the class of '07, Gretchen Gould from the class of 2019, Ryan Blackburn from the class of '17, Kaylee Martin from the class of '17, and former President Elroy Wild. Those of you who know Mr. Wild know that he enjoyed an Illinois victory today down at Memorial Stadium. Okay. One more group of thank yous here. We would not be able to, the committee's involvement is vital in ensuring that we are recognizing the most deserving of the athletes. So again, thank you for your diligence in making sure that we're seeing what we need to see to get to honor those individuals that need to be honored. Also, thank yous go out to my staff at the Sterling Schools Foundation, my staff of interns led by Jennifer Drew, who is the editor-in-chief of the Blue and Gold magazine. She is an English teacher at Sterling High School. She oversees this crew, and she does a wonderful job in overseeing them. But we have one of the best crews that we have ever had working for us right now, and that includes Cameron Taylor, Jenica Francis, Braden Hartman, Brecken Peterson, and Braden Birdsley. They are the group that is responsible. That program that you received with all of the bio information, the bullet notes, and the pictures, that they did all that. They did the research. They did the interviews. They wrote the articles. So I think that of that group there is a budding group of, hopefully a budding group of Jeff Metcalfs. If you know, you know. Hope that there's a group of Jeff Metcalfs in that group of interns that we had, because they do a wonderful job. So round of applause for my staff for making that possible. Just real quick here, I mentioned that arguably this is one of the most, if not the most elite, one of the most elite groups of inductees that we've ever had. Literally some of the best ever to do their sport are included in the group that we're going to honor here today. We don't get to say that very often. It's not just a couple, it's a lot that the best ever. So it is my pleasure to begin the Hall of Fame ceremony. How this is going to work, okay? We'll start with a name. We'll say next up is this person, okay? And then our crew here at Centennial Auditorium, under the direction of Kyle Morgan, we're going to play a video on the video boards that highlights the accomplishments for that particular inductee. Once that video is over, we want that inductee to step up on the stage, once the video is over, from that side. So you'll step on the stage up there, you'll greet the Hall of Fame committee members, And then the lectern is yours for some sort of acceptance speech. Now, I don't want to hear from the inductees saying, well, I didn't know I didn't know I had to say anything. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You were instructed by me, either by email in writing, that some sort of acceptance was required. So that's part of the experience. Okay. So there you go. Those are the rules. Let's begin the game. We would normally start with our teams, and we would normally start in chronological order from the most senior inductee to the youngest inductee. But we're going to break that protocol a little bit because we've got a special way that we want to do this tonight, because family situations are important. Okay, one of our inductees' families is in a quandary because they have a member that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they have another family member that is playing a pretty big college football game tonight for Eastern Illinois against Northwestern in Evanston. So we're going to honor the individual that's going to be inducted first so they can get on the road and they can get to the football game that I think kickoff is 6, is that right? 6 o'clock, something like that? 6:30. All right. So the first inductee for the class of 2024, going into the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 2018, is Tyler Willman.
First and foremost, thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me and thinking I'm worthy of joining the Athletic Hall of Fame. It's an honor. Some of who I have personal relationship with, and Mr. King. I never thought I'd say I missed the days out on the turf. Are you yelling at me? But no, seriously, this is a great honor. Thank you to my family, obviously, everything they've done for me, and just getting me to games and supporting me. Coaches, definitely head coaches. Mr. Vasquez, see you back there. Coach Schlemmer, and obviously Coach Pepper. And those are just to name a few, all the support and all the help that they've given me throughout my career. I couldn't have done it without them. And I think what kind of sets Sterling High School apart is just simply the support from the community, from the coaches, to the families, and they just cultivate atmosphere for athletes to exceed expectations and find success in whatever their sports are. And one story I have was, I think, junior year. Maybe Coach V can correct me on this, but I think it was junior year, home game over at Homer B. Musgrove, and just a close game, and just kind of struggling a little bit on the court, missing layups, which I know wasn't uncommon for myself, but not getting all the rebounds I should have, and came out and sat on the bench, and Coach V just kind of looked at me and just told me, he's like, yeah, you're playing pretty bad right now. And just straight up called me out on it in front of the team and sat on the bench, and I actually got a little upset at the time, and I was like, I'm doing my best, blah, blah. And Coach looked at me a couple minutes later. He's like, you ready to go? I went in, and it was like night and day difference. And so I think that's just a testament to the relationships us athletes built with our coaches, and the expectations they had for us, but also the ability to just treat each other like friends, like family, not afraid to call someone out or push them to their limit. The coaches just had that relationship with us and helped us to succeed, and that's not just Coach V, that's all the coaches. So I'm super thankful for that, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just very thankful for this award. I'm honored to be a part of this community, and I'll always be a Sterling Golden Warrior. So thank you, guys.
The thing that with Tyler is that really stands out is the fact that what he accomplished was as a three-sport athlete. He wasn't just good at one sport and played two. He was elite at three, and that is a rarity. That's what makes Tyler a really special inductee into the Hall of Fame, and just the team success that he was part of. That number up there, 7 conference championships. He was a starter on those teams. 7 football playoff games, 1 starter on those teams. And in baseball, all-time leader in the top 3 of 8 baseball statistical categories. One of the greatest all-around athletes that we've ever had. So, Tyler, thank you. All right, we'll get back to our individual inductees here in just a moment, but right now we're going to turn our attention to the one team that we're honoring with induction into the Hall of Fame this afternoon. And the story of this team, to me, has become incredible, to be honest with you. It starts for me in November of last year when this nomination was first made. Mr. Fortney, a part of the committee, did some research on this, and he was a big-time advocate for the class of the 69-70 basketball team going in to the Hall of Fame, and he did the work, and then I saw his work, and then I'm like, okay, so I knew that they had made the super section, I knew that they won a sectional championship, and then, okay, well, they finished 16-11, okay, but they went to the super, and I thought about that, I'm like, well, that means that they entered the postseason with a losing record. They were under 500 when they entered the postseason, okay? That does not tell the story about this team. And through my staff, through what Jeff Metcalf has done, through talking to Jeff, and learning more about the backstory here, it's just amazing that what they were able to do, dealing with all that they dealt with during that season, to be able to accomplish at the end of that season what they were able to accomplish it against who they were able to accomplish it against, blows my mind. If that story would have been told, if that happened today, if that team competed today in the age of social media, unbelievable what they would have to deal with in terms of the knowledge of what was going on behind the scenes. And for them to overcome that and achieve at the level that they achieved at, a level that has only been achieved by 5 other teams in the history of Sterling basketball, speaks volumes to the kind of players that were on that team and the kind of character that they had. So I'm blown away by what you were able to do, and more than deserving of being a part of this group. And on behalf of the Sterling Schools Foundation, I apologize for it taking 55 years for it to happen. So congratulations. Before we get to the video and before we welcome the team members up here and give them an opportunity to talk about their story a little bit, do want to take time to recognize those members of the team that are not with us. These 4 members of this team have passed away: Mark House, Ken Massey, Elmer Lindboom, and Jeff Johnson. Also, head coach Gene Hall, assistant coaches Jim McKenzie and Glenn James have also passed away. So before we honor the team, we would like to take a moment and have a moment of silence to remember those members of the team that could not be with us here today. Thank you. And now we welcome the 1969-1970 Sterling High School boys basketball team to the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Right now, we would like to welcome the members of the team that are here with us today. From the class of 1971, Gordon Fortney. From the class of 1970, Kurt Smith. From the class of 71, Frank Lee. From the class of 1970, Steve Yem. And manager Jeff Metcalf, please step on stage. Phil, hey, how you doing, Phil? Part of the team. The microphone. Okay.
I guess I got elected to talk. So, yeah, our 1969-70 team had an interesting year, as Jim alluded to. On behalf of everybody, I'd like to thank the committee for honoring us now. It has been quite a while. Basketball has changed a little bit since we played. They took down Mr. Naismith's baskets for us and put up the round backboards. Basketball, there was no dunking. Lou Alcindor was playing for UCLA, and to make the game more even for the rest of the mortals, they said there was no more dunking at any level, and so that was different. And there were no three-point shots, and you look at Mark House's records when you think about it, and how many points he scored, and I don't know how many of his shots were three-pointers, but they were a lot. But in any case, I always thought it was kind of corny that people would talk about sports as being metaphors for life. But indeed, I think our season ended up being a metaphor for life. It was a very interesting experience. When we were younger, in our freshman and sophomore years, I think we were 19-1 when we were sophomores, and so as we were coming up, people thought we were going to be pretty good. We also had really big guys. Which is supposed to be good in basketball, and we had like what, 6'8", 6'7", 6. Cordy, how tall are you? 6'5". Yeah, we had a big front line, and we had been successful. So everybody thought we were going to be really pretty good. And we started off my senior year, and these guys is mine and Kurt's senior year, and these guys junior year, and we started off pretty well. And then just something didn't seem right. And I think we've all in life had times when things aren't just quite right. So I think as naive young men, we got to start to experience some adversity. One of our guys had some personal problems and other stuff going on, and he ended up quitting the team. And he was a starter and a big guy, and how his troubles influenced how we played is hard to say, but we started having adversity that way. And then there were some, as we started having more adversity, we started to lose. And as we started to lose, it sort of became contagious. And we went from a confident bunch of kids to not really knowing if we were going to win when we went out to play. But we lost an important part of our team, and then there were some issues in the community, questions about why we weren't doing well, and it's kind of funny how that happens. But then all of a sudden we kind of rallied together, and we came together, and this is where the metaphor comes in. I think, in life, everybody here has been exposed to adversity, and we kind of just started playing for each other and came together, and we also got back to where sports are supposed to be fun, and when you're losing a lot, they're not that much fun, and they became fun, and we started having fun, and we started working the ball around together. We talked Mark House into shooting more because he could shoot really well, and then we started winning towards the end of the season, and then we got into the playoffs, and we were pretty confident we could play with anybody, and even LaGrange we gave a pretty good game. They were a very good team. They had a guy who went on to play at Marquette, and they had a guy who went on to play at Maryland, and Freeport, who we beat before that, had a guy who played for the Denver Nuggets and his twin brother, who were 6'11". So we handled those teams pretty well, and I think it was just because we had good chemistry, and we learned how to handle adversity. And again, being young men that didn't know much about anything, I think that probably, I know in my life it was a springboard to other things. I was a physician for 40 plus years, and I did a lot of different things, and I saw a lot of people handle adversity very well, and I saw a lot of people handle adversity not so well. And I think at that stage of our lives, we learned to handle adversity, and it was a very, very good experience. So again, on behalf of our team, thank you very much, you guys, and we appreciate it. And it brings back a lot of fond memories to think of how we got to where we got, and were able to accomplish what we were. And it was really good to do it with these guys. So thank you.
Just an individual note about one of the members of that team, and we talked about all-time greatness. In the history of Sterling High School, in the history of the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, okay, there's 3 categories that you can be inducted into the Hall of Fame in. That is as a member of a team, as a coach, and as an individual. In the history of the Hall of Fame, there are 2 people who have been inducted in all 3 categories. The first is some guy, we might know who he is if you're old enough, Dwayne Dietz. Mean anything to anybody? Dwayne Dietz from the class of 48, also in as legendary track coach, also was a member of a football team and a track team that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And with this induction today, we now have another member of that elite group. We have 2. The other is Mr. Frank Lee, who is in as a coach, as an individual, and as a member of a team. Frank, congratulations. All right, now let's move back into our individuals. And we are going to trek to the class of 2001. So we're going to go from 1970 to 2001. Our next individual inductee is Mr. Joe Demery.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor, and congratulations to my fellow Hall of Fame inductees. It's clear that each of you represent the dedication and talent that define Sterling High School athletics. Joining the golf team my freshman year was a pivotal decision that continues to influence my life today. While my golf career at SHS started slowly, I was fortunate to have 2 outstanding coaches, in Jeff Stripling and Bruce Scheidecker, who played a vital role in my development over those 4 years. I also want to recognize the Sterling Park District, and at the time, the head golf professional at Emerald Hill, Matt Hazley. The access and support they provided were invaluable, and the Emerald Hill golf community truly was a family. As a freshman, I looked up to upperclassmen like Justin Moore, Eric Aldridge, Nick Stripling, and also Hubs, who was a senior when I was an 8th grader. They set the standard, pushing me to improve, motivating me to get better every day. Beyond the golf course, I was fortunate to have an incredible support system of teachers and friends, Mr. Beatty, Mrs. Ward, Mr. McCoy. Families like the Kriegers and the Gommers played a significant role in my personal growth. I am also grateful for the support of my family, my mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa Eberly, my siblings, John, Kate, and Andrea. Those critical years of development would not have been the same without the guidance, encouragement, and support of these amazing people. A special shout out to my co-captain, Joe Krieger, who helped create a strong team bond with Jackson Potter, Scott Fisher, Jack Van Kooten, and Jason Smith, leading to our successful dual meet records our junior and senior years. Without the support of SHS, the Sterling Park District, my teammates, and the countless individuals who believed in me, I wouldn't be accepting this award today. I'm deeply honored to be part of the Sterling High School Hall of Fame class of 2024. Thank you, and go Warriors.
He has a young daughter, and she plays volleyball, and the other volunteer coaches could not work this weekend, so being the great dad that he is, Joe is coaching volleyball this weekend instead of being here with us. Now, Joe's mom is here. Is that right? Are you here? Excellent. Do you want to come up and grab his plaque? Would that be all right with you? For Mom. Congratulations. I won't make you speak unless you want to.
I just want to say thank
Sure,
you.
sure.
Just a quick comment here. I wanted to thank the committee for considering there's so many students and achieved athletes and accomplished athletes, and Joe has been so lucky. From a parent's point of view, he's been so lucky to have all the teachers and students from the time he was in kindergarten through high school, and they really made a huge impact on his life, and couldn't have done that without everybody, with the entire support system of the Sterling High School, and grade school. So thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
All right, from the class of 2001 to the class of 2012, it's my pleasure to welcome Mike Schneiderbauer to the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. Well, I was going to have my mom come up and do this whole thing for me. I thought that'd be a little bit easier because my Google email was full and I was unaware I was going to give a speech. So that's... Yeah, we're winging it. I found out earlier this week. I was like, no prep time. We're gonna wing it. But I do owe a huge thank you to my mom and dad, as all of us do. They never missed an opportunity to come support myself or my 3 siblings at any of our events. So the only excuse was if they were going to another one of their events. So thank you guys for everything. My brother. A lot of great accomplishments in your career, and you left some big shoes to fill for myself and my sisters. So thanks for doing that. No pressure. We did our best. And my sisters as well, Lauren and Sarah, they were wonderful athletes and an inspiration to me. I gotta believe that there are 2 things that played a big role in this honor that I'm receiving. One, my brother is the vice president, so thank you. And the other being, I was a 3-sport athlete in all 4 years, and it did come with a lot of hard work, but believe it or not, that was almost not the case. I remember my junior year, I didn't play a single down in football, and I went into Coach King's office. I don't know if you remember this, but I told him I didn't think I was going to play the next year. And he had a conversation with me. I changed positions, and I went out the next year, and I did okay. I was all conference, all area, and I wouldn't have believed that was possible had we not had that conversation. So thank you very much. And the other person, I could stand up here and thank every single one of my coaches. That'll take all night. The other person that I'd like to mention is Eileen Wolber. Again, I wouldn't have been a 3-sport athlete if it weren't for her, because she bribed me with an Arthur's number 2 to go out for the swim team. And it was a worthwhile investment. I joined the dive team, actually, and I was no good at it. So Coach Patak brought me over to swim laps, and I had a fair career in swim as well. So all that to say, and this is for everybody in the room, never miss that opportunity to have a conversation with a young person or buy them a meal or do just something small. And it may not change their life, but it could make all the difference in the world. You know, God is working in every single one of us, in you and for others. So never take that for granted. So God bless you all, and thank you.
One of the things that I remember about Mike, and it's a comparison to Joe, and it's like Joe graduated in 2007, so he's 5 years older. So they weren't in high school together, and it was like as a freshman, see this scrawny little kid, and somebody says that's Joe Schneiderbauer's brother. I'm like, no way, that's not. There's no way that's Schneiderbauer's brother. Nope, it was, and the difference in the way that Mike looked from the time that he was a scrawny little freshman till the time that he was knocking people down and setting records and winning conference and sectional championships as a senior is a testament to what it takes, and it is effort, perseverance, and the attitude that all I can do is do the work to get better. That's what Mike did, and here he is in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Mike. Now to the class of 2013, it is my pleasure to welcome Andrew Blackburn into the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations, man. There you go.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the committee. This is a special honor. And really, thank you to everybody who's still involved with Sterling High School, the way that all of you are. I am guilty, my mother will tell you, that I'm one of those guys that kind of moved away after high school and don't really come back. So when I do come back, I'm like driving through town and I'm pointing out to my wife, I'm like, look at the turf, look at that. I took her in the basketball, stadium. Like, this place is really, it's really cool. And you don't realize that until you leave. You don't realize how good you had it. And it's the platform that everybody that is involved creates for the student athletes that really provides, again, the platform that we can be successful on. So thank you for that. Thank you to all my coaches. There was a blurb up there about my swimming career. My one award was most improved. So my swimming career, I don't think is why I'm up here, but thank you. But we had great coaching there too. Kyle and Jamie were here. I talked to them. Bob Patak called me at work the other day, which kind of threw me off, but I was able to talk to Bob. And then CJ Wade. I know CJ can't be here. He is in his other career path. He wasn't just a great high school golf coach, but he's a great wedding DJ. I can vouch for that. So I think he's DJing tonight. So thank you to everybody. Especially thank you to my family and everybody that could be here today. My wonderful wife, Alyssa, who is carrying our first child due here in the next couple months, so we're very excited for that. Yeah. Good job, Alyssa. My mother-in-law, Karen, who drove almost 2 hours to be here today, and I couldn't believe that she was making the trip, and it all made sense when she said she wanted to try Arthur's for the first time. So, and if you have Arthur's on your bingo card, that's twice now it's been dropped. So, my sister, Megan, my niece, Harper, are both here today. And, of course, my parents, because I have never raised a teenager. I have never sent a child through high school, but I imagine that when you do, things become pretty scarce. Your time as a parent becomes scarce. Your patience is scarce. And at times, money is probably pretty scarce. And what they did is they never let me in on any of that. And that freedom to just be a kid and go to school and go to practice every day is, I think, what provides the ability to succeed. That led to me having a good enough career here to go on to college. That's where I met my wife, earned a degree, got me into the career that I'm in, and now we're starting our own family. And I think if we can create that same platform for our kids that my parents and her parents created for us, I think we'll be okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you again. I really appreciate it.
So I'm trying to think, if I got a golf scramble team together, I'm just a Hall of Fame member since 2000. So Demery, Blackburn, Ember Schultz, and then me, of course. We might win something somewhere. It'd be a lot of fun for me to watch them play, and then I'd let them do all the work, and I'd just putt. I'd just stand on the green and putt. So yeah. Anyway, that's. You guys up for that maybe sometime? All right, staying in the class of 2013, it is my pleasure to welcome Keanu Interoni into the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Hello, Sterling High School. I'll begin by saying how deeply honored I am to be inducted into the SHS Athletic Hall of Fame. Coming from a small town with so many incredible athletes, it's humbling to be recognized among them. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the ceremony as I now live in Melbourne, Australia. I recently made the move with my wonderful partner Nicola and our 2 gorgeous dogs. I want to start by saying that my success in swimming is far from my own. So many people along the way pushed and supported me to be my best, and I wouldn't be there without them. First, I want to thank the legendary Coach Patak. Coach Patak actually coached both of my parents in the swim team back in the early 80s. It was truly special to be coached by him for my first 2 years. He believed in my potential from the start. I also want to give a huge thanks to Coach Kyle Reese. Kyle brought so much fun to the team with his amazing storytelling and ability to create a great atmosphere. Coming to practice all those years made memories that I'll cherish forever. And of course, I want to thank my parents, Shanna and Carmelo. As collegiate swimmers themselves, I guess you could say that I was bred to swim. But in all seriousness, the countless hours my dad and I spent analyzing my stroke were invaluable. I couldn't have done it without them. I'm incredibly grateful to have gone through the SHS athletics. In so many ways, it springboarded me into the amazing life that I have today. SHS swimming led me to an athletic scholarship, which gave me the opportunity to study computer science. Now I get to do what I love, building AI software applications with startups and small companies. So thank you, SHS, for this incredible recognition. And of course, go Warriors.
Does anybody have Keanu's family here? Step on up, if you would, please, and if you would be so kind to accept his plaque. Awesome. Congratulations. Say, I didn't tell you you had to speak, but if you would like to, the microphone is yours. You don't have to.
Okay. Wow, these lights are bright. And I was at my seat, like looking through my email. I didn't get an email that I was going to talk. So, but anyways, I don't know what to do say as his parent, but Keanu, he's an incredible kid. I mean, ever since he's been competing ever since he was 4 years old. He won the nationals in BMX at 4 years old. And then ever since then, I've never seen a kid like him that's just driven to succeed. It's not us. We don't tell him to succeed. He just, I mean, as a 4-year-old, just wanted to win. And that translated to his rock climbing, to his swimming, and then track, and then just in school and in life. And that's, right now, that's all he wants to do is just succeed. And that's on him, I don't know what, but I think the thing about what drove him is this area, Sterling. We were fortunate enough, and I met my wife here in Sterling High School.
On the swim team.
On the swim team. We were both on the swim team together. When we swam for Bob Patak, which was amazing. It was for me, not for him, I don't think. So he had a hard time keeping us apart. So, but we were fortunate enough to go to school here in Sterling, and we moved away. I had to work in Chicago. And then we were fortunate enough to come back to Sterling, which I think was an amazing experience for my children. And I think this community fosters that in the people that live here. And I think we owe it to everyone. Everyone needs to give themselves a hand for being the people they are, and the teachers, the coaches, everyone in the community needs to understand that this is really something that is unique to this town, because we've lived other places, and this is truly something that is a blessing. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, so we now jump ahead to the class of 2017, and it is my great pleasure to welcome to the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, Callie Zeidema.
I just want to start off by saying that this is just such an incredible honor to be part of the incredible club of the Hall of Fame and being inducted alongside so many other incredible athletes tonight. I want to start by thanking all of my coaches across all of my sports for supporting me, but I want to especially thank my diving coaches, John and Mary Sue, for all the countless hours you spent with me in the pool and keeping encouraging me even when I was struggling with new dives. I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys. I also want to thank my parents, of course, for always showing up to all of my meets and for driving me to and from practices, even the ones at 6 a.m., which I'm sure you guys did not want to be up for. I also want to thank my sisters, Lauren and Morgan, for being such good role models for me over the years, and they were actually the ones that encouraged me to do diving my freshman year. I did not want to do it, but they were the ones that told me that I should try something new, and it turned out great, so I'm very thankful for them. My time in Sterling High School athletics taught me not only how to do my sports and do them well, but it also taught me so many skills such as commitment, resilience, and teamwork that I've taken with me throughout my life today and have brought me to where I am. So thank you so much.
It's amazing the work that goes in to not just be good at something, to be great at something. Callie, the best girls diver that Sterling High School has ever produced, but she was a 3-sport athlete and was for the class of 17 was the student of the year. So all of that work that goes into being the best ever, and you're also competing in other sports and you're achieving at the highest level that you compete, not only academically but athletically. It's just a testament to what can be done when you're not afraid to do the work. Callie, congratulations. All right, we jump ahead now to the class of 2018, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you new member of the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, Jake Gebhardt.
Thank you. There you go. All right. Thank you to everyone for being here today. It's Fiesta Day weekend, and there's a lot of good food out there right now. So, you guys are sacrificing that and being here instead. And thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me to be inducted today. It's quite the honor, especially seeing Mike and Keanu here, two people that I looked up to in high school. And Keanu was the first one that I met that went D1 in a sport that I had really gotten to interact with, and whenever I was over at their house with their son or his younger brother Ari, I would just, Keanu, how many pairs of shoes did you get? Keanu, how did you go D1? What'd you do? And he would just always answer those questions for me, and just be a great person for me to look up to, and I could not appreciate that more from Keanu. Then also just thank you to the community of Sterling. You can feel the support all the way up and through my collegiate career and to where I'm at now. This having that support is beyond imaginable, and I feel like we're all pretty lucky here, from my little brother who competes now for the football team and all the other sports that we have here. Also wanted to give a shout out to my coaches, Coach Hendricks, and then Kyle and Jamie Reese, who are my swim coaches, and Coach Brenner, all played a big impact on my life. And I wish I could get out there and just see Coach Brenner swinging his arm one more time and hear him going crazy for me. And all the support that I had from them really allowed me to have success in high school and then and beyond to where I'm at now. And I think I would be wrong for not thanking my college coaches too, that played a massive impact in my life. And this past year I was at the University of North Carolina with Coach Miltenberg there, and then for my 5 years I was with Coach Helmer at Indiana. And Coach Miltenberg has been a big impact on my life and just taught me about the power of the mind and how you can change really the impact on your life that you have using your mind. And Coach Helmer, we lost this past July 4th, but he was probably the most influential person that I've had in my life up until now, and just everything that I've learned from him has really helped me find my way into who I am now. Then, last and not least, my family here sitting down there. They've been following me around for the last 14 years, watching me compete, just being great supporters. And my sister, who's probably whooping it up at the Iowa football game right now, had to spend every weekend for her birthday, every year for her birthday, at a boring old cross-country meet. And my little brother would sacrifice giving up his own sporting events and making his way to watch his big brother run wherever it was. And now I was lucky enough to finally watch him compete in a high school event last night. I think he got 8 points from kicking field goals. So big first win for the Warriors this year. And then my mom, she was driving me around like a crazy lady in high school, making sure I made my way to everything that I had to be at. And then my dad, just like my mom, always made a lot of sacrifices. And one quick story that I think really played an impact on my life and where I've ended up now, and unfortunately it didn't happen in a Sterling High School uniform, so the mile record isn't as cool, but on June 1st, 2017, me and my dad, we drove down to St. Louis. It was after the high school track season had ended, and we were going to just do a little postseason mile race with not too many expectations other than I wanted to beat a high school rival that I had at the time. Went down there, raced that night, and it ran a time that put me in the top 10 in the country, and kind of just changed my life a little. I feel like it gave me the opportunity to have a scholarship in college and continue to do something that I love. And I think my dad and my mom sacrificing moments like those to take off work and shell out some cash so I was able to go run at these odd one-off meets really is a testimony to how lucky I have it with my family and my parents to where I'm at now. So cannot be more thankful for my family and to have this honor of being in the Hall of Fame. So thank you.
The thing that stood out, obviously, I'm not an expert on running or anything, but I know when I see special, and what I deem as special when it comes to running, there's what I've learned and what I've grown to appreciate is there's a difference between being a runner and being a competitor. And Jake was the latter. It wasn't just about running, it was about winning as a runner. And that is what makes greatness. And, we've been fortunate to have great runners. I would, on stage here, Mr. Fortney, Pat Fortney, the Pats, Pat Fortney, Pat Cross, and then Jake, and then a young man who's going to be on stage here in a few years, accepting an invitation into the Hall of Fame, Dale Johnson, the 4 best distance runners we've ever had. So welcome to that club, Mr. Gebhardt. Moving on, and staying in the class of 2018, it is my pleasure to introduce a new member of the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, Aaron Long Smith. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go.
Well, hello, everyone. First, I wanted to express my appreciation to the people who made this achievement possible. Greg King, Coach Gallmer, Jim Spencer, and of course, Sterling High School Foundation and the committee. To my coaches, thank you for igniting my passion and constantly pushing us to meet our expectations. Your belief encompassed not just the sport, but shaped our character into strong individuals on and off the track. You instilled us the values and resilience of sportsmanship, hard work that go beyond just the track. To my teammates, the warriors beside me in the witness of the dreaded warrior runs and our races that would leave even the strongest breathless. Thank you for your hours and relentless camaraderie. Together we transform moments and draining fatigue into the hours of laughter and unforgettable memories. To Sterling High School Athletic Program, thank you for giving us this incredible facilities to learn, grow, and shine. From the track to the classroom, every lesson, every setback was the stepping stone towards our life goals. It's amazing what happens when a community comes together towards a common goal and celebrating each other's progress and success. To my parents, this award carries the only thing your last name can carry on because you were blessed with 4 pretty great daughters. Your encouragement was undeniable, and let's just say it was pretty loud that I could hear A&E or Let's Go E in the middle of all my races. Your lessons and sacrifices provided me the leverage to chase my dreams and gave me the mindset of always do my best even when no one's watching. Thank you for everything you've done, even if it was dropping me off a mile away and telling me to run home. I will always appreciate what you do and have done for me. As I accept this honor, I do with my appreciation for every individual who contributed to my journey. Thank you, Sterling High School, for this recognition. I will forever serve as a reminder of the real meaning of being a Golden Warrior. Forever bleed blue and gold. Thank you.
Along the lines of my little tidbit on Mike and Joe Schneiderbauer, it kind of applies to Erin as well. And being able to watch Erin at events that I was at and her sisters were at, her older sister Kelly Long is already a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame. And then I spent about a month in 2011 with the Long family and a number of other families as we watched the Little League softball team win the World Championship. And again, if you'd have told me that Erin Long was going to be, part of the athletic program, maybe as a supporter, as a cheerleader or something like that, she was just this pretty little girl who was into it, who was cheering on. She just didn't seem to me like somebody who was going to become a ferocious athletic competitor, and you saw her determination in the pictures that you saw on the screen. I wouldn't have thought that in 2011, spending that time together, but it was an amazing time watching you grow up and become what you become. Congratulations, Erin. Thanks. Also from the class, this class of 2018 is pretty good, don't you think? Also from the class of 2018, it is my great pleasure to welcome to the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, Trey Morse.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Trey Morse, class of 2018, Sterling High School. First off, I want to start by saying I'm absolutely bummed I can't make it tonight, but I'm absolutely honored to be a part of such a great Hall of Fame here at Sterling High School, with all those that have come before me and all those that will be here in the future as well. Want to take a moment to thank my friends and families. I had two great brothers that pushed me my entire time in high school and further on in life, as well as my parents who afforded me many opportunities. I want to thank Jake Gebhardt, one of my best friends, also here tonight, getting nominated. He was always a pushing factor for me in high school, making sure that we were both staying on top of our stuff, as well as many coaches, like football coaches John Schlemmer, Mike LeMay, Dave Campbell, Shad Bailey, Isaac Kennicott, Greg King, just many others. And then baseball coaches such as Nick Pepper and Taylor Eichenberry. Without those guys, I wouldn't have been afforded opportunities that I was here at Sterling High School. And it's great to be a part of something great that we have at Sterling High School. So go Sterling, and as always, beat Rock Falls. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Dusty, Stacy, would you like to come up and accept? Awesome. 3 sons, 3 members of the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame, 3 sons who went to the United States Naval Academy. I think the parents deserve induction into the Hall of Fame. You sure? Please? There you go.
I have a grandson now, so I know what
You don't have to. Okay. Again, congrats. Thank you. The thing that I loved about Trey is there's, again, being around sports. I've done Sterling football games for 30 years, and the thing that I've learned at the high school level, there's a thought about football, okay, that the quarterback is the cool position. I guess I always thought, for whatever reason, that everybody wanted to be the quarterback, okay? I thought I wanted to be a quarterback. I was never athletically talented enough to do anything like that, but the quarterback was always the cool kid. You know, that was the thing that I thought everybody wanted to be. What I learned being around, football programs and football coaches is that kids don't want to do that. They don't want to be that guy. They don't want to be put under that pressure. That was not the case with Trey Morse. He loved being the quarterback. You saw the picture up there. It was like confident, Tom Brady-looking dude, and he led our football teams like that. He was just amazing in that way. He loved being the quarterback of the Golden Wire football team, and I just thought that was really cool. So, Trey Morse, congratulations. All right, one more to go. And I'll say this before we actually get to the formal introduction. This goes to say about all of these athletes in some way, shape, or the other. But in my time, okay, there has never been a dude like this dude who every time he competed, every time he took a handoff, every time that he took the baton, I held my breath because I thought something special was about to happen, and it happened a lot. It is my pleasure to welcome to the Sterling High School Athletic Hall of Fame from the class of 2018, Nyrel Sullivan. yours, man.
Whew. Hey, actually, I forgot one thing. If you can't tell, I'm a little nervous, so. All right. So first off, I want to start by saying thank you to the whole committee here for this amazing accomplishment and recognition here. Second of all, I want to give a huge round of applause to the rest of our inductees tonight. It's a great honor. And all right, so here we go. I want to start by saying a big thank you to my family, my uncles, my cousins for getting me involved in football and sports and helping me support me through my life. Also, a thank you to all my friends who've met during my sports journey, who've become more like brothers to me. You know who you are out there. Also, a special thank you to my mother for raising me and always loving me and being there for me no matter what the circumstances are. I love you for that always. I want to say a big, really big thank you to all my teachers and my coaches who saw my potential and always pushed me to be a better person. Also the ones who never gave up on me because I know I was a little bit hard to deal with. But you guys taught me that nothing is just given to you when you're talented. Now, as I say that, I probably wasn't the most, like I said, I wasn't probably the most cooperative, at the time. But fast forward into now, I understand that in order to be a winner, you have to have three things: a goal, a plan, and a work ethic. These are three things that I take into consideration when I'm standing here today. I want to give a huge shout out to our great principal here. I don't know if he's here today, but Mr. Austin. He's a great principal. When I first moved here to Sterling, I had more of an athlete mindset, very little of a student mindset, I guess. Mr. Austin helped take me in and understand the importance of those three things I said earlier. He helped me establish a goal, which was get a full ride scholarship, a plan, which was spend my entire junior and senior summer in the classrooms making up classes. Who wants to do that? And then lastly, work ethic. I had to want to make it to college, and I had to want to get to that next level in order for all these things to work. But without the support from my friends, my family, my coaches, and my teachers, it's hard for me to say that any of this would be possible. So I thank you guys all for that. Support is everything, and when you have a whole city such as Sterling behind you, it's an amazing feeling. I'm very proud to be a part of this school's history and forever grateful for all the love and support that Sterling has shown me throughout the years, my 2 years here. Thank you. I'm glad to be a Warrior for life. Thank you.
Just a couple things about Nyrell with there's just a couple of things I'm never going to forget. And the first one is the first game of the 2017 football season. First play, literally the first thing, the opening kickoff of the season to the house at Sycamore. That's pretty good juju for that football team that made it to the semifinals for the first time in school history. So that's pretty good stuff. The other time, Nyrell, is the 100-meter, the 4x100 meter relay your senior year at the night relays. I think when you took the baton, I think you were in 4th place. And you're not just running against anybody. You're running against, UT and Rock Island and teams like that. Nyrell comes around the corner and he's passing these dudes like they're standing still. It was one of those take your breath away moments, and you're like, watch it. Just like the kickoff, you're like, did that really happen? And it did. It was just amazing. And as we look back on this class that has just gone into the Hall of Fame, there were so many of the moments like that. So many things about these people that I'm going to remember forever. And thank you for everything that you've done For the Golden Warriors, thank you for representing our school so well. Thank you to the class, to the 1970 basketball team. Just as somebody who feels that I'm steeped in the history of what we do here at Sterling High School athletically, I did some learning in regards to this team. So I was humbled by what you guys were able to accomplish. So this has been an incredible, fun class to work with, to have my staff research and have them show me things and teach me things, and then talking to you and learning about all those things. It's really been amazing. So thank you. And just one more round of congratulations for our class. One final thing to remind you is that in just a little bit, first, if you haven't been to the Digital Hall of Fame wing yet, if you haven't checked that out, please do so across the way. We're very proud of it. I think what we have to offer in that regard is something unique for high schools across the country. We think it's pretty cool. When you're 126 years old like we are, and we've been competing athletically since 1899, our first athletic team was the football team in 1899, you kind of run out of room to store all the pictures and plaques and all those sorts of things that you accumulate over the course of time. Digital technology solves that problem, and so we're pretty proud of what we have to offer there, so make sure that you do check it out. Also, in just a few moments, if you want to leave here, make your way over to the Sterling Schools Foundation Alumni Center, which is 2 blocks away, corner of 6th Avenue and Miller Road, 510 East Miller Road. We're having a reception, cash bar, heavy hors d'oeuvres, some football on the TV, and a time to tell war stories. So if you would like to partake, please come over and join us as we wrap up Hall of Fame weekend. Thank you to everybody for coming, and congratulations once again to our inductees. Thank you.